Hey Capricorn, this reading is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising in Love, December 15th through the end of the month. Capricorn in Love, December 15th through the end of the month. Capricorn, I'm going to be doing my usual monthly giveaway, but I've decided to let the winner decide whether or not they would like a free reading or a free healing session. If you would like to be considered for the giveaway, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below your video, and I will notify winners at the very end of the month. Capricorn in Love. Capricorn in Love, December 15th through the end of the month. Okay, Capricorn. I'm hearing that you guys are surviving. Capricorn is surviving right now, which is great. It's a great start, but you're not living. Are you in alignment with that message right now, Capricorn? It feels like some of you are working nonstop. You're surviving, and you're doing a really great job. The Spirit is asking you now over the next couple of weeks to be a little bit more conscious about living your life, taking a little bit of time off, and prioritizing family and friends, but also prioritizing you. It can't just be about survival. Now, I know that's easier said than done, especially if you're struggling, but first of all, utilize law of attraction to manifest more time. I think that that's going to be really key for you over the next couple of weeks. But do understand that this is something that's probably going to come up, especially if you do have a little bit of time off. That's reflection of, okay, wow, this has been a great year. I've accomplished some great things, but where did my life go? Do I have time to spend with loved ones? Do I have time to be out with friends? Do I have time for a romantic partner? Have I been with my family enough? And those are really great questions. So Spirit is acknowledging, yeah, some of you really have just been surviving, which is great. And I think the intention behind that is a beautiful thing, especially if you're doing that to take care of not just you, but your family. But it's time to live, okay? It's time to enjoy your life. And it's important that you prioritize doing this. Let's get a little bit more clarity here. Capricorn in Love, December 15th through the end of the month. I'm also hearing that you need some time off for your mental health. Not that there's anything too severe going on, but I think some of you are experiencing burnout now at this point in the year. So make sure you're taking care of you. It's not just about taking time out to be with other people, but making sure that you have some real time alone that doesn't involve work. Meditate a little bit more. Spirit's having me focus on your mind. So that tells me that you may be stressed, you may be anxious, you may be burned out. There's something that you really want to acknowledge and tend to over the next couple of weeks. The first card out is children. I think some of you are feeling like you don't have enough time to spend with your family and your kids, okay? But this also feels like inner child that's been neglected. Inner child that hasn't been tended to, hence some of this burnout, hence some of this stress that needs to resolve. I know how hard you all work. I mean, I've always admired that in Capricorn so much. But you do need to take care of yourself. If the only time away from work that you have is taking care of other people, it's still not good enough. You know what I mean? Spirit really is asking you to prioritize yourself. You may have to prioritize yourself over your love life right now, at least to some extent. Now, for those of you in committed relationships, it's not necessarily prioritizing yourself over your significant other, but it's prioritizing yourself too, having a healthier balance, okay? I'm definitely seeing those of you who have children being able to spend more time with your kids. And maybe that's because this season allows a little bit of time off from work. I mean, friends sit at the center of this too, okay? So there's people around you who, it feels like you'll be a little bit more social. It does feel like some of you will be stepping back into life, not just surviving, not just working. But I also think as you start to spend time with people that you love and care about, all of a sudden it's really going to creep up on you like, wow, I've missed this all year long, or I've been missing this for months. I need to balance better. That's a conversation that's definitely coming up for many of you, especially if you're meditating. That's definitely something Spirit will continue to talk to you about over the next couple of weeks. But I'm seeing holiday parties for sure here, which is not surprising. I'm seeing friends like family. I feel like some of you will be taken in during the holiday season by friends who are like family, or by friends' families. If you don't have family that you can spend the holidays with, I feel a very strong friendship with somebody and their family, like, oh, just invite Capricorn over. You know what I mean? Like really being taken in by maybe somebody else and somebody else's family, but that being incredibly positive for you. A whole lot of love there. This comes down to balance very soon. This is Spirit asking you to be clear on what it is that you want. To be clear on what it is that you want. Do you just want to make a lot of money? Do you just want your business to be successful? I do think for some of you, you've outgrown needing to survive. I know that. I've been there, and I'm not going to dismiss how important it is. You do have to take care of yourself, but I feel like some of you are still stuck in survival mode, and you don't have to be. You don't need that energy anymore. You can live. You can have balance. That's what Spirit's asking you, to make up your mind, to get clear on what it is that you want very soon. Do you want your life to revolve around work, or do you want more? Do you want family? Do you want friends? Do you want some time off? All of those things are what you should be focusing on and manifesting at this time. Asking universe. Exercising free will, but asking universe for what it is that you want so that you can be gifted that at this time. I do think for some of you, this new year and stepping into a new decade is going to impact you more positively than other new years have in the past. I think sometimes we can get caught up in it, but it's more just like the holiday spirit and it's everybody else's energy, and I'm feeling for you, it's not quite that this year. It feels more authentic. You are excited about this next decade ahead. You are getting more clear as to what it is that you want. Working really hard to shift energy, to do more than just work. But it feels like, and you may need to get closer to the end of the month. Maybe not quite around the 15th. But as you're getting close to December 30th, December 31st, I feel Capricorn very positively being impacted by the new year at this time. I will say this, for those of you who are single, I don't see that you're prioritizing your love life right now. And that's okay. I think that that's okay. But if that's something that you want, again, that conversation is going to come up for you. You're going to feel that naturally, like, okay, what can I shift here so that I can have somebody meaningful in my life, and how to even go about that. I do think some friends may connect you with somebody significant. I'm also seeing a friendship possibly developing into something more, especially if you've maybe friend zoned somebody and now you're spending a little bit more time. I can definitely see that developing, and that could be a very good thing for you. What's interesting here, and you're not the only sign, okay? My cards usually fly all over, and you know that from my videos. So when I'm doing, shuffle after shuffle after shuffle and they're not flying, it usually speaks to, well, someone not wanting to speak, somebody not wanting to have a conversation about something. And it's interesting. I can't remember what sign it was, but it was a clarifier for children. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the same question. What is it about the inner child? What is it about the past, okay? What is it that is still so difficult to speak about? It feels like that interferes with love. It feels like one inner child healing needs to be done at this time. And again, that comes back to doing more than just surviving. That could be why you are surviving. For those of you who've had very difficult childhoods, it may be difficult to grasp that life doesn't need to be that difficult anymore, that you can manifest a different kind of a life. But what is it that you're afraid to acknowledge with inner child, with your own children, or about your past at this time? I think that there's a lot of reflection going on. And I think that that's why this new year and this new decade ahead impacts you maybe more than years past. Okay. Inner child, clarify by self-love. Do you love yourself first? Or is everybody else allowed to be the priority above you? I worry about that sometimes with you, Capricorn, because you do tend to take care of everybody first and you last. It's not healthy to do that all the time. I mean, you have children, of course, you're going to prioritize them. But this is about loving yourself first and loving your inner child first. Really getting down to that level. I mean, that's where the most intense spiritual healing and emotional healing takes place, is on that inner child level. When you speak to the inner child, when you heal the inner child, that goes back to past. When we have karmic lessons that continuously show up and it's the same thing over and over and over and over and it doesn't get resolved, it goes back to the inner child and it goes back to childhood very often. So one, to heal karmic patterns at this time, you are being asked to do that inner child work. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to me, I can help you. But the other message here is that in relationships, in love, whether you're in a committed relationship or you have a family and it's a really serious commitment, or you're single and maybe considering stepping back out there and dating other people, you have to start prioritizing you. You're losing out on something by always putting everybody before your needs. And that is a huge message. And I think that's really difficult to talk about. When I say, what is it that you won't speak about right now? What are you afraid to speak about? And then this pops, self-love. Why are you afraid of self-love? Do you feel like you don't deserve to do that? Does it make you feel selfish to put your needs ahead of other people? Because that's not selfish. That's having healthy boundaries. And again, all in balance. If you only put yourself first, then yeah, okay, maybe that will be seen as selfish, but you need to take care of you. If there's one main message coming through for the next 2 weeks for you, Capricorn, you need to take care of you. What does Capricorn want? What does Capricorn need to be healthy? What does Capricorn need to be happy? What can you change so that you don't feel burned out by work all the time? What can you change and what can you shift so that you don't have to work all of the time and still be able to pay your bills and support your family and take care of yourself? Center the reading, we have friends. Clarified by free yourself. I think some of you may have freed yourself from a relationship where you could never put yourself first, and that is incredibly positive. Okay, if you've taken that step, good job, and that could be why you're so reflective at this time. But this speaks to freedom. This to me comes through as freedom from work, freedom from just surviving instead of living, and getting back to being social, getting back to family that feels like friends, getting back to family, but getting out there and having a really good life. Friends are going to help you with that. I also feel like friends may connect you to a new job where you make maybe better money or have a better schedule, but something about it would be freeing. And I'm always going to bring this up for you, Capricorn. I know that this is a love reading, but you're born entrepreneurs. So some of this freedom is going to come from taking a risk to launch something yourself, okay? But all of this applies to love because I think this is overwhelming you a little bit. For those of you single, you may not feel like you even have the energy left right now to call in a new partner, but you can. You can if that's what you want. If you're burned out, again, I just keep coming back to ask the universe to provide you more time so that you can still pay your bills and take care of yourself, but so that you have some real time to connect to other people, because I'm feeling an emotional disconnect here. I'm feeling Capricorn feeling lonely, even surrounded by friends, feeling lonely because maybe you've missed out on some really big memories, being around family, and that being a little emotional to you because you're like, wow, a whole year's gone by and I was working the majority of the time and I missed some big milestones with my kids or with my family, or people have some inside jokes and you're not a part of it. That could be coming up for you too. But I honestly feel like this is mostly positive because it's shifting something forward. It's shifting a change in the right direction for you. So we have very soon clarified by this could be the one. Very soon you're taking your freedom so that you can get back to your family, so that you can get back to that love of your life. If you're single, this is what you're calling in very soon, as long as you can shift this energy. Make sure if this is what you want, you're asking for this. And if you feel like you can't attain that right now because of a work schedule, sort that out with the universe. Because right now, that overworking and that burnout, I feel like there's so much of that energy out there that universe may only be giving you that back. Okay, so just recognize if you feel like I'm just even more burned out this month than I was last month and I'm working even more hours. Is that the energy? Is that the conversation you've been having with the universe for months? It feels like some of that could be manifesting instead of new wonderful people or extra time with your family coming through. But there's a positive shift here for you all, for sure. Let go of control issues crowning this. That feels like a workaholic. That feels like somebody surviving, trying to keep all the pieces of the puzzle together, making sure everybody's taken care of. And because of that, because that is sort of fear-based at times, stepping out of divine flow. Some of this you just have to surrender over to universe to handle and take care of for you. You're going to have a better life if you do that. You're going to have a better result if you do that, okay? Bottom of the deck here, we have spiritual and religious factors. I think some of this is coming up because of holidays, certain holidays that people are celebrating at this time, but this does feel like a spiritual connection. I want to show you this. For those of you single, there's somebody who you will have a major spiritual connection with who is worth waiting for, who's also worth doing some of that inner child work for so that you can be ready for them. It does feel like if you're single, there's somebody coming in who's very significant. very soon. I don't see this person showing up over the next 2 weeks, though. That feels more like maybe January energy, beginning of the year energy, but it feels like their energy is very close. There just needs to be that inner child healing, okay? So if there is a major takeaway here, there needs to be inner child healing done so that you can enhance your quality of life and not just work, and not feel lonely, not feel like you're either stuck being single or you're constantly working and you can't spend time with your family. It's about balance. It's about nurturing you. It's about prioritizing self-love and also healing yourself on that inner child level, really, really nurturing your inner child at this time. You are going to have a better year ahead if you can get the ball rolling on that now over these next couple of weeks. Capricorn, if you still feel like you need more clarity, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings. I'm available for energy healing, which you know that I specialize in. I will see you all back here January 1st for your full month of January reading. But in the meantime, I'm sending you all so much love, light, gratitude. Happy holidays. I love you, Capricorn. I'll see you soon. Ciao.